Hi, I'm Daz. I'm the producer of The Drift, and I just wanted to do a little piece to camera about some of the script work, some of the story work that has been happening over the last sort of couple of days. It's all been quite interesting actually, because The Drift has come from an older project called Starlight, and that's been quite a complex story and quite difficult to get my head round. Story writing isn't one of my strengths, and I find it very difficult. Although I wrote the story, or most of the story for Tenclo and Doom Raiders, they're very sort of linear. The pace sort of gets quicker during the film and all that kind of stuff, which is fine, but it's a bit predictable, and I often find myself when I'm watching them that sometimes I'm just sort of waiting for the end. Not the end of the film, that'd be really bad, but sort of waiting for, oh, I know the next bit's going to get really good, and I want to try and, with this film, I want to try and not have that, and have it exciting from the outset, and that's very difficult because it's not a strength of mine. But working with some friends, in particular a writer who lives in Lincoln as well, so we've been sort of exchanging a few emails with bits and bobs, and then we met up. And we met before, obviously. She helped with Cinders, she helped with Tenclo and Sugar Cubes, which is another film that I did. In fact, she wrote a really good speech in Sugar Cubes, which was really good. And it's kind of come together now. It's still got some way off, but it's got all the little ingredients that these stories are meant to have. I've been to a couple of sort of these meetings, seminars and stuff, where they sort of say, oh, make sure you have a protagonist and antagonist, and you have to have a decision point and all these good things, and they're really easy to say all that stuff. In fact, I'm writing a book at the minute, and even in there I'm saying, I'll make sure there's a decision point has to be made, and then there's a twist, and then there's conflict, and there has to be conflict at every certain moment in time, and all this. And it's all good stuff, and it's true. I'm not saying you shouldn't have those things, and there's a kind of recipe to making a good story, but there isn't one golden way of doing it, because if that were true, then all films would be absolutely brilliant, and that's definitely not the case. So it doesn't make life much easier. It almost shows you it sort of tells you why your story's rubbish, not telling you how to make a good story. You haven't got all these things in it that's clearly why your story's not working, but it's not. You can't just click your fingers. So that's been quite difficult over the last sort of few weeks and stuff. But now we've had this sort of meeting, and The Drift is a science fiction horror. It's a scary film, not too scary, but scary enough, and it's exciting. But I want it to be a bit like Jaws, other than the very end when you see the shark a lot of the time you don't see the shark at all. And in fact, a lot of the conflict in the film isn't about the shark either. It's about, do they close the beach, and the ethics of that, and are they lying to the public, and all this kind of stuff. There's other conflicts that arise from the fear of the shark. And that's something I wanted to have with this film, is that the fear of what is on the drift, what the drift is about, creates the conflict with the crew that go to the drift, and reveals things about them and how they interact and deceive and betray or team up, all these things, and their fears come out. And that's happened in the last sort of few days with the story. So we haven't even got to script yet, other than like little bits that I know that we'll be really excited to have. It'd be great if this bit happened, all that kind of stuff. But there's a journey now, and that's really good. I just wanted to sort of share that and say that it's nice, because in the past I've been worried that the story was falling behind, and I think I mentioned before that it almost got to a stage where we were sort of running out of sets to build, because I don't want to risk building something we weren't going to use, and unfortunately that's, for now, that's good. We're good. So yeah, we need to obviously start working a bit more on the characters. I've got some ideas with the characters and stuff, but need to develop them a little bit more. Got some backstory. That's really good, because you learn about how they're going to react to the situations. I pretty much know what the outcome of the Drift film is going to be. I know how it's going to end up, and the sort of the fundamental sort of the turning points in it as well. And they might change. I'm not saying it's all set in stone, but it just makes it a much better place. So yeah, that's it. Story's coming along quite nicely, and I'm very pleased about that. I thought I would share that with you guys. That was it, really.